Hello, my friends. It is year 13, week number 652, and today is day one of my new sewing class.
Kevinisomoto says welcome to the vlog.
Hello, my friends. Year 13, week number 652. A few weeks back, I decided that I wanted to sign up for a sewing class here in the city because I want to learn how to start sewing. And this is a Sewing 101 class that's offered in the Garment District of New York City. It's very basic. It's for people who have no experience at all with doing sewing. Each class is 3 hours long. It's once a week for 4 weeks. Okay, we finished with day number one of the sewing class, and there were 10 people in the class. I was one of the 10, so 10 plus the instructor. And on day number one, they went over basics of the sewing machine itself, like the different components, how to use everything, how to thread the bobbin, place the bobbin, and then how to like kind of get the machine up and running. And then our first assignment that we made, which we made all in class, was we made our own drawstring bag. Okay, so this right here, I didn't do a very good job. But this right here is my drawstring bag that I made right here. I wanted to choose like the most ostentatious, kind of crazy looking bag pattern there was. And so I went with this purple floral right here. You know, everyone kept messing up, but I kept messing up. And the teacher was like, oh, just, you have to understand that like you're gonna mess up a lot in the beginning. So to not be too perfect about the whole process of it for day one anyway. So as you can see, there's like a bunch of spots all around here where I messed up on the threading here. Like all of this mess right here. This right here was just the raw edge initially. All of this part of the fabric right here, these edges. And so I did all of this zigzag stitch right here to kind of like, you do this to lock it in so that it didn't fray anymore on these edges. But so I learned how to do all of this today. The last thing you do is you get this string. It's like this thick rope kind of material, and you string it through the entire bag, and that's what makes this like, so that it can like cinch up like this drawstring. Okay, so here's what happened, my friends. I'm editing the video right now, and I'm going through the footage, and I just realized right now that I completely screwed up the audio for the last half of this little story I was telling about sewing class. You see this little shot right here, this camera that I have in my pocket, that camera is shooting video right now in my pocket because the idea that I had in my mind was it was kind of windy, so I wanted to shoot the audio using my phone and then the footage using the camera, and then later in editing I would just sync the two together, and it would be high quality audio from my phone plus the video quality from the video, and it all seemed to work out in my mind. But the problem was that when I stuck my phone in my pocket like this, the whole thing got all messed up because it's just like scratchy, it's like rubbing against the fabric. It was like this whole noise, it was doing that, but in the pocket of my shirt right here. So basically all the footage from here got screwed up. So I'm gonna do like a nice little narration here to just kind of round things out for this video. Part one was me telling you that I was going to the class. Part two was showing you what I made. And now part three was supposed to be me kind of talking about the future, the next few weeks of this class. And then that was gonna be the close of the video. As I was about to shoot the third part of the video, I got a phone call from Aaron. So we did a quick little intermission here on the side of this little running path. And we had a very long phone call here where I just kind of sat here. It was like a very fun time-lapse sort of situation because like these people were running by, and that movement creates a lot of fun action and movement in the shot. And then this was part 3. So now we're standing on the west side, kind of like the lower west side of Central Park here. And again, you can see the camera in the pocket. And I was kind of explaining how I'm excited about this class. We're only on week 1. And by the 4th class, the idea, the itinerary with all this class is that it's supposed to culminate with us being able to create our own piece of garment. They give us the freedom by that stage in the class to kind of choose your own adventure style. Like you can kind of go in with your own plan, present it to the teacher, and then get their help with making anything you want. Just as a side note, I just want to tell you this, even though this is not caught on camera, I want to tell you this story real quick. So I was getting this B-roll shot, this one here from earlier. I didn't capture this on camera, but see this guy right here? So he's on this city bike, comes in front of the camera, and then right here you can see that guy in the red jacket. He's also on a bike. And what happened here is, you can kind of see it, but this guy in the red jacket made a left and cut off the guy on the city bike. Guy on the city bike flipped off his bike and into the middle of the street. And so I quickly ran over. I was like helping the guy get up and everything. And he was so pissed off at guy on the red jacket, which I think in my mind, it was red jacket's fault because he like tried to essentially make a left and cut him off really quickly. I think he tried to like get in front of him, but swiped the guy, and the guy like flipped off his bike and fell into the road. And then as I'm helping the guy up with his bike, I like, just to get his bike out of the street, I was trying to like be courteous and move his bike to just get it out of the street, right? And I started to lean his bike against a trash can that was on the sidewalk. And at that moment, there was a city worker who was changing the trash can liner of the city trash can. So if you can imagine like the sidewalk, and there's a trash can sitting on the corner, and there's a worker there who's just so happens to be standing there dumping the trash out. And he sees me pulling the guy's bike out of the street and then moving it to the sidewalk. And then I proceed to start leaning it against the trash can. And then the city worker gets pissed off at me for leaning the bike. I think he's getting mad that I was leaning the bike up against the trash can while he's like standing there trying to change the trash. And so I was trying to tell the guy like, yo, this is not my bike. I'm just trying to help the guy out and get him out of the street. And he's like, no. Just don't put the bike here on the trash can. Just get it out of here by the trash can. I don't want to see it here. And so it was like making me mad because I was like, yo, like, you know, I'm just trying to help the guy out. It's not my bike. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just doesn't make sense why everyone was getting so upset in this moment. But that was just a side story of this little clip right here. So then after this shot in the west side of Central Park, I kind of walked around the park a little bit, got some B-roll shots. I was doing some photography of the buildings and some B-roll around the city, and then went to the Apple store, and then headed south along the east side of Manhattan. And then this was a pizza shop that was, there's the, what is it called? The United Nations building that's on the east side of Manhattan. And this pizza shop was kind of right in that area. So I went to go and I ate these 2 slices of pizza right here. And that, my friends, concludes week 1 of my new sewing class. That's it for this week. Thanks for watching. It's been year 13, week number 652. Next week on the video will be week number 653.